Welcome to the new time. Welcome to the pre-show, everybody. We're excited to be here, and I am excited to have you with me. And yeah, see, so it's so good. Let's put some music, kind of say hello. Oh, that moment when some bug flies right across your face and you have no idea what it was. Oh my goodness, I think I just freaked out. It was like this big beetle. It just went and it landed in my Bible. So we're just going to leave it there as I do my live. You know, there's always those things, guys, where when you go to do lives and you go to do things that, yeah, it's super crazy. Super crazy. But I don't know what that was. Hopefully it wasn't a bee. Hopefully it wasn't a, wasp or something. But whatever it was just like near right between your eyes. Like, hello, why I'm going live. Y'all suck. That's it. That's what it is, right? So there's what it is. So guys, so grateful to have you with me. Say hello wherever you're calling from, wherever you're joining in from. Just say hello. Let me know that the video is good. I'm saying hello to Miss Natalie. Good to see you. We're in the pre-show right now. We will be jumping on into the live just momentarily. I love to do these because I was actually told one time to do a pre-show, to where you just kind of introduce, you kind of say hello, you're trying to get those things because we've got a good thing to talk about. If you guys are just joining us, we're going to jump in. New videos, we do this every single week. We're switching our times. Like usually my times we're on 7 o'clock at night. But I thought, you know what? Let me move it to a Wednesday. Let me move it to 11. We're going to try 11 for a while. And you can listen to this at work. You can listen to it as a podcast in the background. You turn the video on and you just listen to it. Or you can be watching with people who are watching live. And we're so grateful each and every one of you guys are here. The YouTube channel does upload videos every single week. We do drop a video. Matter of fact, I have a video dropping. It's about 3.5 minutes long later on today about how to create more content in less time. Love for you to check that out. And as we move forward, I want you guys to do me a favor. I want you to, and because we've got to start this in less than 30 seconds, drop your questions in the comments at any point. Hello, Jonathan. Good to see you, my brother. Good to see you. I want you to drop your comments or your questions inside the chat here because we are going to, today is a live Q&A. I do have some questions. I do have some thoughts. A few weeks ago, I was trying to do this particular live and boom, my internet didn't work for almost 3 to 4 days. Can you imagine that? Not having internet in your house? It's incredibly frustrating, but we're good now. The heart attack is done. So we're redoing this live about how to, just really what platform should you build, how you should be building your platform. So do me a favor, drop your questions in the comments so that we can go ahead and answer them live because this is a Q&A and I love when you guys interact with this place. And if you're sitting there on whatever platform you are, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, or D Live over there. And pretty soon we're going to have a little setup. We could be live on Instagram as well. Because guess what? I love hanging out with you guys. Hit the like, hit the share, tag for some friends, subscribe to the channel, do the thing that the platform you're on asks you to do. Because every time you do that, the algorithm goes, hey, people like this, and it shows it to more people. And I believe you that this is going to be one of those things where people are going to want to see and hear what's really happening, what's really thing, because they're going to learn how to be more engaging. They're going to learn how to be much more social media savvy, particularly YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. And the whole deal is we're going to get moving, get noticed, and get paid. That's what it comes down to. So with that being said, let's go ahead and we're going to get out of the pre-show era here. And we're just going to jump in. And you guys there on Facebook, I did drop a chat in there or a link that says chat.restream.io/Facebook. If you click that, it'll actually ask you to authorize Restream. And if you do that, if you're in my group particularly, it will show me who's speaking to me from Facebook because I don't like the fact that I only see Facebook user, right? And I don't like that because you are not just a user, you are a brilliant mind who is producing something in the world. And I want to be able to call you out by name and things like that. So with that being said, let's kick this off. If you have ever had a moment where you've struggled with social media, where you've tried to get on other platforms, where you have tried to get on stages but couldn't, well, sit back, hang out, and let's talk today because today I've got a show for you that's going to really talk about the ins and outs of some of the social media platforms and about stages. So with that being said, let's begin. Hey, welcome to the show. It is Wednesday, 11 a.m. Some of you guys are not used to seeing me at this time, but that's okay because this is a new time for me because guess what? In social media, you always want to experiment, right? Because experimentation will show you where the bulk of your audience is going to be when they tune in, how they tune in. There are different types of places that you want to do. A lot of times we create things for our audiences, right? So we'll do things at certain weird hours because that's the bulk of where your audience is. So I'm testing because I've only done things at 7 p.m. at night, whether it would be on a Thursday or a Friday. And I said, well, maybe people are there at that time. What I found out over 6.5, 7 weeks of testing was that yes, there are people that show up, and some of you guys are here on the stream. But what I noticed was simply this is that late in the evening, people are starting their dinner routines, people are with their family, things like that. And I want to give you great content. I want to give you great movement in your business, in your life to get you moving, get you noticed, and get you paid. But I'm never going to be that person who takes away family time because I believe that family time is probably the most important time that you have. So if you're in family time, you shouldn't be all over YouTube and you shouldn't be doing all these extra things. You should be with family. And so, with that being said, we're moving this to the daytime. And I realized two things. Those that are super fans will follow you because they make time. Those that are not, they won't. And when you do move it, you find that here's really what's really cool. You find a new set of audiences, or even some of your audience that's been lurking in the shadows, able to engage more because now it's at a time conducive to where they can engage. And what's great about lives, and what's great about doing things like this is you could be watching this live and you could be adding into the comments and hitting up there and doing those things. Or you could be sitting there, if you're at work, you could be having this on your phone and you can be like, boop, 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 boop. You like my sound effects too? I make sound effects. And you go, boop, boop, boop. And then when you do that, you just put it onto the side and you listen to it as if it was a podcast. So either or, you're getting great content, great interaction, and a lot of great questions that come in from you guys. And so with that being said, always test your social media, always test your post, always test and experiment with what you're doing. Because here's what I know. Watch this. This is what's really, really super interesting about this is that many people will do something and they see that it creates success. So what do? They weld it. They continue to do the same thing over and over at the same time with the same thing, with the same format and all that. Well, what happens with that and what the challenges of that is that change, if it doesn't change, it grows stale. Pretty soon people will grow tired of seeing the same post at the same time at the same thing, and it sounds so similar, right? So that's why you've always got to test what's working now. Where very long form videos like 5, 10, 20, 30, 50-minute videos were working a couple years ago. Now we're in a TikTok world. We're in a Reels world. We're in a YouTube Shorts world. Why? Because the attention span has decreased. So therefore, people will still attend the live and they'll attend the whole thing. People will still watch more longer form content, but the majority of your people will do shorter form content, right? Matter of fact, I read this incredible stat the other day was simply that by next year, by 2022, over 82% of your content will be video. Think about that for a second. If you're not doing video and you're posting and you're doing those things, you're going to be left in the dust. I was on a great live last night with John and Eric from Adventure Social, and he was saying that live streaming is going to be a multi-billion-dollar industry by 2025. And what Facebook is doing is, and same with YouTube, but Facebook is throwing a lot more money into it, is they're putting a lot of money into live streaming because people want authentic, people want reality, people want to go in and connect with real people and not just watch a video. Now they will watch the video, but they want community. So you put the videos for people who want to watch that, get some tips, get some strategies, get some really quick bite wins. But you do lives because they want authenticity. They want community. They want to know the person behind the content, right? So that's why we do these lives is lives are to really engage with you of the person behind the content. So if you're not doing lives, then you're going to be left behind at some point. If you're not doing video content, the majority of people are consuming video content. 82% by 2022. And I think that was put out by Cisco. And by 2022 is 82% is consuming video content, and you have no video content on your plan, in your model or anything, there's going to be a problem because there's going to be a disconnect. Now, you don't need a massive audience to create a full-time income doing this. You really don't. 100 people, 1,000 people, somewhere in there can really create a nice long-term, full-time thing for this. And you can leave the job you hate and do what you love. You don't need a big audience. But what you do is you need engaging content where people are going to come in and they're going to want to say, hey, I love this. Let me get some wins. And when they do the wins, what happens is they say, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. They do it. They get the win. They come back. And now they're ready to purchase from you something of value, something that's going to be part of that. And then boom. Win-win for everybody. You create the income you need by adding value. People get the results they need, so they produce finances for your business to grow. Simple, bada bing, bada boom. Isn't that what they say? So with that being said, there's a couple comments. Let me say hello to some people. We got there, Rick. Good to see you, my friend. Family time is all good times. Yes, it is. All right, so Natalie says this, family time for sure this weekend, completely unplugged and going camping with the little dude. I do have a question. You being up in Canada, is it still cold in June? I just want to ask that. Like, I'm in South Florida, so it got hot in like February, and it's just been continuing doing that. So does it get cold in June in Canada? Just a question. So, Jonathan, great question. So with short form content being bigger, do you advise shorter videos on YouTube, Facebook, or a combo of short and long? So this is a great question, and I want to answer this question as best as I can. So this question really gives you like really kind of a good context. I'm going to say to do both. Now, where your content lives is going to be the kicker, right? But you're going to want to intermix with some of this. Some of it you're going to want to do very short form content. If you notice, a lot of my YouTube videos are 3 minutes long. I do that on purpose for two reasons. Number one, I want to give you quick wins. But number two, I want watch time. I want click-through rate. I want all of that on there. If I have a 3-minute video and the average person watches 50%, the YouTube algorithm says, oh, this person gets 50% watch time. Let me show his videos to more people. My channel grows. I get monetized. Things happen, right? And people like small bites. Now, as a teacher, I was a certified teacher for 10 years. We teach chunking in school. It means taking big concepts and throwing it down into something small so that people can digest it and do it. So maybe take an hour-long content produced video and put it in a bite size, right? Like if you're going to plan an hour, then bite size it down into like 5 minutes here, 3 minutes here, and just teach one strategy. The problem is, I think, is that many people want to add it all into one thing, and you don't need to. Because if I add it all into one thing, then you're never going to come back. But if I just say, here's one part, here's two parts, well, now I've created a system where you're going to watch multiple videos, right? On YouTube, that's super important because the more videos your audience watches, the more click-through rates you get, the more subscribers you get, the more the algorithm shows it, right? Now, on YouTube, your content is basically evergreen. Like if somebody goes to your channel, they will see it. They'll be able to search it. If you do SEO right on YouTube, Google connects to YouTube and suddenly now you're being found in Google. With Facebook, it's a little different. The average post on Facebook lasts about 6 hours. So when you're creating content, think in small bites. In 6 hours, this post will no longer be relevant, no longer be shown unless it gets massive engagement. So if you get like massive engagement, it'll last a little longer, but the average post is 6 hours and less on Facebook. But with that being said, don't stop posting on Facebook because I love Facebook. And matter of fact, Facebook is creating its own ecosystem with paid events and affiliates and all this. There's some really cool things coming out this year. I love Facebook. I think it's incredible. It's got the largest audience and it's pumping the most money into its platform. So yes, continue to organically market in Facebook and have those relationships. But I think YouTube should be your primary platform for videos. And because you can monetize it, you get to be able to do multiple streams of income from it, and it's evergreen. And that's, I think, the big difference with the two of them. But you should intermingle it with longer videos and short videos. You should do both, because there's going to be people who are going to watch the longer ones, because there are some content, there are some things you can't teach in 3 minutes. But there are some or concepts you can't teach in 3 minutes, but there are some things you need 15, you need 20, you need 30. If you notice, my videos like this are an hour long. Why? Because like I said, we go over a lot of things in my lives, and then we have a lot of engagement within the audience. So I do these lives for an hour because that's my chance and my time to build community with you. This is the whole reason why I do this. And then I'll leave it on my channel. I leave it on my Facebook. People will see it for 6 hours on Facebook. It's evergreen on YouTube. I will edit it slightly, and I do all the things that are like SEO and all that stuff, so it can be searched for. So the deal is have a plan, rotate content, and be able to understand what is going to be placed on which platform and why. But that was a great question. All right, so here's Natalie here. 35 plus this weekend. Oh my gosh, it's 35 degrees, or is that sort of 35 degrees Celsius over there? I did ask the thing, but it did get snow last weekend. I like my little warm weather here. All right, so here's my brother Freddie. Shout out from my brother from another mother. So here we go. How do I get someone to click on a video randomly? My video is like a needle in a needle stack. Obviously, if I can get the initial click, I feel like my content will hold its own. That is the incredible conundrum. You like that word? It's my $5 word for the day. That's the incredible conundrum of all content creators, is how do I get people to click on my video? There are two platforms. There's multiple platforms. Like every platform has its thing. LinkedIn, you'll do it differently. Instagram, you'll do it differently. Facebook, you'll do it differently. YouTube, you'll do it differently. So let me focus on YouTube first, because that's my context. That's my home base. That's where God has been able to put me in there, right? And this is where he's called me to, is YouTube at first and primary. So here's the deal. On YouTube, it's the title and it's the thumbnail game. Some people have amazing content that will never be seen. Why is that? Because they don't have their thumbnails that are like attracting attention with curiosity. Their thumbnails just plain out suck, right? If I showed you a picture of my first thumbnail composed to what my thumbnails are now, and then what I'm going to, matter of fact, I'll pull some up here in a minute, but I can show you some of that as a progression. The deal is that people click. Think about this. You go and search YouTube. Like after we're done this, go through YouTube on the front page, and then the ones you click, ask yourself, why did you click that? And it's going to be a few things. Number one, I was searching for it. Number two, it had me curious. And why did it have me curious? I saw the picture and I was like, wow, that I would like to know more about. Number three, it's the title. It's like, okay, this is something that's really attracting me. Let me click. You have to win the click in the thumbnail and the title before it gets to your content. Everybody focuses 200% on the content, but you got to focus 200% on getting the click and getting the title and the thumbnail and the SEO right to win the click. The SEO gets it seen, the title and the thumbnail gets it clicked, the content gets them to stay. So think about it that way. Facebook's a little differently. Facebook, it really comes down into do your content. Make sure your descriptor has if you're doing your Facebook lives, or the videos live, or you're uploading the video or doing it live Facebook on the platform, then do it there, and then make sure your description box is descriptive on what you're doing, because people will read that, and if they don't attract it to it, they're not going to click on it. And then also don't put any links in the description box in Facebook, because Facebook will not show your stuff if there's a link in the description box. So it's really getting in that platform and winning the click and putting all of your effort into the front end of it, and then making sure that your content's solid. But people will be forgiving of content, but they'll not click until everything on the front end is ready. As a matter of fact, as we're doing that, I'll pull up some stuff and show you some great things. Oh, my wife is here. Boop, boop. Where's my Wifey Sound? I got a Wifey Sound. Did you know that? I've got a Wifey Sound. Let's see. Is this it? Yeah. That's the Wifey Sound. That's the sexy time sound. Yeah, loving it. Hey, I love it, love it, love it. You are a genius. I appreciate that, honey. So here, Natalie said, it converted it to, it was 35 there. Okay. All right. So next question, next thought. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. This is incredible. If your video had low views, nobody will touch it. If it already had millions of views, people will click on it almost like they feel like they're supposed to. There is some of that. Especially if we're just talking about YouTube, there is some of that. There people are more likely to click on more popular videos than not. And here's the main reason why. Those people who have millions of subscribers or millions of views figured out the algorithm. They figured out how their content matches with their audience. They have an audience. Like if you have a channel that has 1 million subscribers and they're getting 30, 40,000 views on a video, yeah, absolutely, you're going to see that. My channel is approaching 400. I'm super excited about that, right? And if you're not subscribed on YouTube for me, do me a favor and subscribe on YouTube. Let's continue this journey together. But here's the deal, guys. Like, so I'm going to get 100 views, 200 views on my videos, right? But some of my videos, or some of the older videos, I have like 15 views. Why is that? Because I'm trying to nail my audience down on YouTube to where as I make videos, I'm making videos for my audience. And then YouTube begins to say, oh, that's their audience, right? They'll show it to more people like that. And as I show it to more people like that, it begins to go viral. Right. And I'm going to tell you, one of the things I will tell you, Freddie, is be very careful not to compare, because all the large creators start at where you're at. All the large creators had to figure this all out. So I'd be very hesitant to say compare. Just don't compare. And because comparison will cause a lot of discouragement, and a lot of discouragement will cause you to quit from being a creator. And you don't want to quit from being a creator because you've got some brilliance and you want your brilliance to be seen. But with that being said, learn from what they're doing. Ask yourself when you go, and I have a video coming out in a few weeks on looking at like some of the biggest creators on YouTube, Collins Key, Preston Plays, and Mr. Beast. And I really just asked the question, what can a non-channel like that, my channel's nothing like theirs, but what can a channel like mine learn from some of the things that channels like those are doing? And instead of being emotionally attached to it, I started asking hard questions. Like, what are they doing? How did they figure out the algorithm? What are they trying to connect their audience to? And then with that, I'm trying to emulate that on my channel, right? And so I want you to be able to get that in your heart, because if you can get into that and not being emotional and saying, you know what, I don't care if there's 5 million views or 30 million views or whatever amount of views. What I care about is how did they get that? What is the process they use, and what can I learn? And what of that can I use on my own channel? And I'm going to tell you 9 out of 10 times they got their titles down, their thumbnails are on point, and their SEO is amazing. So then when they get into the content, they've been doing it for so long that content is amazing too. And I will get into that for 1 second as well. Because let me say this real quick and before I get some of your other questions. This is a great conversation we're having. Listen, the deal is you can create content with your phone. Now I have a setup here. I have a sound box. I have a camera. I have a microphone. I have some bells and whistles. But I am a professional YouTuber. I'm a professional live streamer. Right now, I'm learning to be better. I'm getting 1% better with every video. Of all my videos greatly edited, are all of them amazing? No, they're not. But with every video, I'm getting better. With every video, I'm learning to do the thing better. I'm learning to be better at what I do. So with that being said, you could just pull out your phone right now. If it's a good phone, it's got a good camera. Most 2020 to 2021s have great cameras, and you can get I would suggest a tripod so your videos aren't like this. You ever see those guys? You're like, I can't watch a video because I can't. It's like shaking so much. But you just put it on a tripod and you talk. Right? You do your video. I would say write down a card. You know, I have a lot of these where I write down cards and I just put 3 points. And with my Restream, I do restream.io. If you want a free account, let me know in the comments. I'll send you a free account. But I have this thing on there that you see me clicking. And it's basically my way of saying, here's my next point, right? And with that being said, my next point would be this. Have a little bit of a thought, but then get on your phone and be like, such and such, and do such and such, right? And then when you do that, you're speaking to your audience on a topic they're looking for in a way that they want to see it. And you did it all from your phone. And here's the kicker. There are apps on your phone that you can edit your video and directly put it up into YouTube, directly put it up on Facebook. Now, I will give you a quick tip. If you are producing for YouTube from your phone goes sideways, because this here will do YouTube Shorts. This here is YouTube videos. If you're doing videos for Facebook, I always tell you just do it sideways, but you can do it straight up and down. But if you do it straight up and down, and if you see the videos, it produces those empty spaces on the side. So whenever you're doing your YouTube long form videos, or even short term, if it's not a YouTube short, do it sideways, right? Because that extends it to widescreen, so you create in that way. Instagram is straight up and down and all sorts of stuff like that. But just get into those places where you're doing from your phone and stop making excuses. Really, really get into those places. And that's how you can do that. Like super easy, low tech. I just have a little bit more bells and whistles because this is what I feel called by God to do. I'm a communicator. I'm a live streamer. I'm a YouTuber. I love doing this. So with that being said, I am putting money into things that I feel God's calling me to. You may not, YouTube or Facebook or organic marketing or video marketing or whatever may just be a hobby for you right now, but this isn't my hobby. So and what I'm doing in the next few weeks is I'm upgrading some of my equipment. This is going to change for me, because I want to dive deeper into being more of what I envision me doing. So make sure that you just start somewhere. If you go on all your big favorite creators and go to their first video sucked. Right? And why do I say that? Because you don't start great, but to be great, you have to start. And that's the biggest thing is to be great, you have to start. Nobody starts great, but everybody is fighting perfectionism. I have to be great. I have to be great. No, your first couple of videos are really going to suck. They're just really, really going to suck. Just get over it, do your videos, and then get better every time you produce a video. So these are some great questions. Let me see what else we got going on here. My wife asked this. What is SEO? Incredibly great question. SEO is search engine optimization. With SEO, what that really means is you're using keywords. In your titles, there should be keywords, and in your description, there should be keywords. You don't ever keyword pack. You ever see those posts where it's like they say the same keyword like 900 times? That is actually against terms of services on most platforms. But you pick a keyword and you mention it several times in the context of a conversation in your title and then several times in your description. And what happens is it ranks on your search. So when somebody searches on Google, they begin to see what you're looking for. So bloggers are huge for this. Like they'll do a post and that post will rank on Google. YouTube is owned by Google. So when you do that, if somebody does boo, 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 looking for, my channel. So my channel is about getting moving, getting noticed, getting paid. And I do like a video about YouTube, how to grow YouTube. Boom, my video has an opportunity to show up depending upon how popular it is on YouTube and where it showed up in the search ranks, right? So with that being said, you do the keywords, which not keyword stacking, not keyword packing, but good conversational keywords that allows you to be ranked on Google. And I'll be honest with you, and this goes back to Freddie's question earlier, I may have had, my channel may not be the biggest channel on the block, but I get 60% of my viewers from Google search, because I get my SEO correct, right? So Google, they're searching things on Google and they find me. So 60% of my watches come from Google. So I want you to know that it's a very powerful introduction, but you don't create videos for Google. You create videos for your audience, but you use SEO to help it reach a greater audience. Great question. Jonathan said this. Another key is building robust distribution networks for your content, especially on Facebook. Absolutely. Facebook is definitely a distribution center. And for you guys who don't know what distribution centers is, it's just basically if I have a video, which a video is coming out later today, create more content in less time. My distribution channels are everywhere I'm going to send it. My email list, my Facebook, my LinkedIn, all the places, those are your distribution channels. And you should be on a couple of them, Twitter, things like that. You should be on a couple of them, but you should master one of them, maybe two of them. All right. So with that being said, let me see what other questions we have right here. All righty. Jonathan said this. He added to the conversation, search engine are steps you take to make it easy for searches to find you to determine your content is a good fit for the platform and your audience. Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. And so Very, 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 very good addition. So remember, guys, add your questions, throw them down in there. We've got so that I want to be able to make sure that we're in a place where we're asking the right questions. And you guys who are watching from your phone, if you want to text me or shoot me in there, shoot me shoot me a message. I will definitely hit you up and answer your questions on the air. There's going to be a point where I figure out how to pull you guys on like an audio question, so you can just audio drop your questions. So we're going to do that sometime. That's a future thing. So here I shared this in my group. So as I'm waiting for questions and things, I shared this in my group because one of the things is understanding the platform you're on, and this is where it's been a big question, and this was shared in my group. And I want you to get a hold of this. I thought this was hysterical. I am huge on bacon, but it really produces a thought process on how to really think about content and how it lives on each channel. If you are posting to a network, it doesn't matter what one you're on, there isn't one that's better than another. And so all those people are like, go here because this is this and this is, listen, what's best for you is where you need to be. And that's what I want you to understand. What's best for you is where you need to be. I'm on multiple channels because I've taken years to learn Facebook. Now I'm adding YouTube and I'm on Instagram, right? So I'm learning the other two platforms because I've taken years to learn Facebook, and I love Facebook. It's an incredible platform, but I feel called as a HQ or a headquarters to be YouTube and everything go from there. So with that being said, I've invested in coaches, I've watched programs, I've joined programs to learn my craft. And what is really good to mention is each platform has its own, culture. So like on Facebook, if we just follow this thing on Facebook, like if we post something like what's on your mind, right? That's what the question they ask is like, what's on your mind? I like bacon, right? If you get on Twitter, I'm eating bacon. If you're on, Instagram, here's a picture of my bacon with a little bit of parsley. They call that salad, right? So you just sit there. If you are on YouTube, it would be, hey, watch me eat my bacon, or better yet, watch me make my bacon. I don't like watching people eat, but watch me make my bacon. And you can read the rest of that on screen. I'm not going to do that. But the deal I'm trying to make is there is a certain content way or a certain culture for each place you're going to post to, each distribution place. Now, what I've seen and what fails and what absolutely is just lazy marketing is ever see these people who have one post and they post it everywhere and it's the same post? Like there's no spins on it. There's no differences. There's nothing. It's the same thing, copy and pasted over every single platform, and everything is the same. Listen, you're not going to build an audience that way. And as a matter of fact, you're going to repel people, because that is just spamming, and nobody likes a spammer. So for me, like what I'll do, like here's just an example. For me, what I'll do is I'll post to YouTube. The YouTube goes live. Boom. I go over onto my Facebook page and I'll post, hey, here's the description, but I don't put the link in the description. I put the link in the comments because that's how Facebook wants it. But I'll write a different description for Facebook, and then I'll put the picture of the thumbnail on my profile. I won't put because a lot of people just paste videos. I won't do that because Facebook will not show it. So I little bit of a context, the thumbnail, and the link goes into the comments. It's a formula. So I do that. So now Facebook is going to show it to my audience who may not be on YouTube, who may be a greater audience. Boom, there it goes. Now in my group, I'm going to post it a different way. I'm going to post the video in the comment or in the description, but I'm going to make it an announcement. So anybody who comes into my group is going to see that's going to see the first thing they see. And that changes every single week. It's the announcement. Boom. So those people that didn't see it on my profile will now see a different version of it in my group, but it's right there. It's the thing. On Instagram, I'm creating a story. I'm creating a carousel. You're going to see that come out more and more. And the carousels, what those are multi-level posts, which is you may get 2 points from something, and the third point, you got to watch the video. See, you've got to know your context. As a matter of fact, we were joking about it in the group. If I was going to post this thing about bacon on TikTok, I'd be like, hey, watch my bacon dance in Technicolor. Or if I was going to post it on Clubhouse, it would be like, hey, let's get a group of experts together and talk about the dynamics of bacon. See, we're saying, so you just got to understand the platform you're on and how to read the platform. And when you really get that, when you really learn how to read the platform, you will absolutely, my friends, absolutely get to a place where you are, doing the thing, and you're going to get more engagement. You're going to get more subscribers, more people joining your group, more page likes, because you are now doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, and you're not copy and pasting everywhere. I just literally, please don't spam people. Please do not spam people. All right. So I want to show you a few things of the directions that I'm going in. I told you I would do this, and I'm going to show you first, next, and then where I'm going. So with that being said, let me do my thumbnails here. And just give me one second, because what I'm doing is I'm pulling up a few things here. And remember, social media is just that, man. It is social and it's media. And you really want to connect with people in a way that's going to be very, very engaging. It's going to be very to a place where people are like, hey, I like what this person produces. And so you want to put some thought into it. You want to put some incredible, just different things into it that's going to be that, what value do you bring? That's what we always ask. What value do you bring? Because not everybody brings value. Not everybody brings the value that should be there. And I think that's a travesty, guys. I think so many people are lazy in what they do. And it may not be you, and I don't want you to think that I'm saying that about you, but so many people are absolutely lazy in what they do. All right, so I pulled up 3 things, and I'm going to show you all 3 things. Are we ready for this? Tell me in the comments if you're ready for this, because I definitely am excited about this. So here we go. All right, so I'm going to pull up my YouTube, and because I'm going to show you what I used to do versus what I'm doing now versus what's going on in the future. And it's actually a video coming out in a few weeks. Let me do this. All right, are you ready for this? Videos. All right, here we go. Oh, whoa. All right. Oops. And when you have like 16 things going on, it's so incredibly funny. All right, so here we go. All right. Oh, nope, that was the wrong button. Let's do it this way. So my first videos, let me show you my YouTube channel. My first Chrome tab. This is it. Right here. I'm still learning some of the system, so I'm really excited. So you guys should see my videos here. But you can see where I'm at. Like my first videos was this. So when you really get to this place of understanding what was happening, like, and you can see I was like 50 pounds heavier, but you could see this, like I had no real idea. This was like 3 years ago. And then I quit. I was like, you know what? I'm done. I hate it. I can't do it. I was getting all these, like nothing was happening. And so I used something crazy, and this is what I did. But then I started, like I said, I got into getting trained, and I got hired a coach and went through a program, and my things started changing. You see the progression of this? And to this, to this, to this, to this. You see that? And now where I'm at now are these. These are my current thumbnails on YouTube. Do you see the progression that's made in this? Now I want to show you something, one other thing. This is where I'm going, and I'm hiring particularly somebody to do this for me, because I don't like, honestly, I like it, but it takes too much time. But this is where I'm going. This is coming out in a couple weeks, and I want you to really get a hold of that. This is my new thumbnail. This is a thumbnail for a video I'm doing in about 3 weeks, and it's called I Lost $25,000. And it's a story of how when I first got into marketing, first got into coaching and online things, of how I lost a $25,000 sale because of some things. But I'm not going to tell you everything. I want you to watch that video. But this is where my thumbnails are going. So Freddie, you guys who are asking, see the quality of this versus when I first showed you guys. It's always about getting better. It's always about getting to a place where you are getting to be the best that you can be on the platform that you've chosen. Now, I will tell you, some of this is going to require you to invest money, right? I am paying somebody to do that, but quality requires money. Money has to be invested if you're going to grow your business, get moving, get noticed, get paid. You're going to have to invest in yourself. And there's just no ifs, ands, or buts. You will have to invest in yourself. You will have to do the things. But end of the day, end of the story, the ROI, or the return on investment at the end of it, will be much greater than the beginning of it, because you got to ask yourself a question. My heart is to, as I said, get you moving, get you noticed, and get you paid. That's what I want, right? But in order for you to do that, I've got to get seen myself. So I put in money to get seen, because people will get better engagement with the thumbnails, with the things I'm creating so they could see the content, and then I get subscribers, and each subscriber, each person that follows me, each person that joins my group, likes my pages and things like that, become potential clients for me, which grows my business, which allows me to help more people. That's how you have to see it. Begin with the end in mind. Don't begin with where you're at now. If you begin where you're at now, you will never get to where you want to be. And that is, my friends, is just the end of it. And then, so with that being said, you guys have been amazing. You've been an amazing some questions today. So making me think this may be a great time for it. Let's put some music on, and remember, ask your questions, shoot them down. We still have a few minutes left before we call it quits for the day. And then we'll come back to you, same bat channel, same bat time. Let me bounce a little bit because I like bouncing. And so, and there was a question or two that was asked earlier, like, why should you build a platform? Why should you build a platform? There was that question, why should I build a platform? Let me turn this off for 1 second. So the question I was asked, and I forgot about this tonight, that's why I have these things on the side. The question I was asked was, why build a platform? Because people are more likely to find you online than they are anywhere else. So people who are watching this right now are some people door-to-door sales. Some people are online sales, full-time job, looking to get out of their full-time job, right? So why build a platform? Because a platform equals an audience. It equals another stream of income, which ultimately will get you to a place to replace one income and work full-time in this income. Or if you're already full-time in this income, it will create another stream of income in order to strengthen your position and grow your business so you can scale it. So, but the deal is every asset, and this is what videos are, they're assets. Every asset you create is, my friends, by nature, something that will live on for people to see. People are seeing my videos from 3 years ago that I don't even promote anymore, but people are still seeing it because they're finding my channel, they're going through my stuff, and they're checking out. Right? So there are things that you're going to create that people are going to see years down the road. You're creating your audience, not for what you have now, but what you have in the future. That's really what you're doing. So make sure, and I want you to be able to understand this. Make sure that you're creating according to platform culture. You're creating according to the audience on that platform, because if you don't, they'll let you know. And make sure that you're adding the most value, because when you have those three things, you have a recipe for success, and your channels will grow, your business will grow, and ultimately you'll find greater happiness. So with that being said, guys, if you have any more questions, this is the time to go ahead and shoot them down. If not, for all my replay people, you can ask them too. I will be happy to answer questions during the replay as well. This is not only for the live. Now, I will tell you, you live guys, you get the best part of this. That's the truth. You get the best part. But I want you to understand that the replay crew, we love you too. If I had a heart emoji that I could throw on the screen, I would do it. It would be like, yo, I love the replayers. I really do. But you know what? You live people, solid. Much love. Hey, listen, as we're closing this down, I just want to tell you guys, if you have not checked out the channel, I'm inviting you to. We're dropping a video later today on, making more content in less time. Check it out, www.leadwithjim.live. It is on the screen. I want you to be able to join the journey, subscribe, like the videos, share them with your friends, invite your friends, because the whole deal of the channel is I'm building a channel for you. Right? I'm building a channel that's going to give you those strategic tips, those real quick hits for you to create wins that ultimately will equal in either a side hustle that you're able to create that extra stream of income, or strengthen your position in your business so that you can be able to scale it to make more money, or leave your 9-to-5 job and just do the thing that you're passionate about. Stop doing things you hate and start doing things you love, and make sure the things that you love is what's actually you're creating in order to sustain you, so you don't have to worry about the thing that you just left. Simple math. So with that being said, I love each and every one of you guys. We're going to do this for a while. Hang out at 11 a.m. Wednesdays for our Everyday Leader Live. Super excited to have you here. Make sure you hit the replay, drop in the comments. Let's continue the conversation. Let the conversation not die when the the live stops, but let the conversation continue throughout the rest of the week. Talk to you soon, guys.